grab a seat.
Ellen?
Yeah, maybe you just fill up maybe the front few groups.
Yeah, it's funny.
That'd be great.
Anytime anybody from Singapore really just starts talking, I know exactly what they're talking. There's only one place in the world with accent. Chaos. We're from USPJ. Yeah. I was actually just there a couple months ago to visit family and go for a wedding. Well, I was born here, but I'm back here. I go back every year.
Really? So your family put a bit of
All my family's there. Well, except like my brothers are here, and my parents are also here, but they also go back like half the year.
Oh.
Yeah.
My mom's side of family is.
We're not a bad crowd today. Hello. All right, how's everyone doing today? The right side of the room is not bad. The left side of the room is like, well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what he says. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Okay, awesome. So, well, thank you everyone for coming out to today's little workshop. I think we have a couple of friends that are still, they're still hanging outside. They're still rolling in. But we're going to get started anyways. My name is Franco. I'll be one of your keynote speakers for today. We also have Dr. Joe here, who's in the back. Everyone can give Dr. Joe a wave. Dr. Joe can wave back. All right, Dr. Joe has spent 30 years doing business in China. 30 years in Asia, and mainly the last about 13 years in mainland China, which is the topic of our conversation for today. How's that sound? Yeah? So anyone here today that is coming because you have a product or service and that you wanted to enter the largest market in the world? Anyone? Okay, all right, just a couple people. Anyone here today because maybe you want to expand locally with the Chinese demographic and Chinese community here? Okay. Anyone coming here today just to make some new friends? Yeah, that's okay. For those of you that didn't raise your hand, I have no idea why you're here. Maybe you're just here to meet me, but that's kind of creepy, but that's okay. If you are, here's my Instagram handle. Make sure you follow that. There's coffee and tea and water in the back. So yeah, so if you're here to meet me today, we'll talk later. Instagram handle, all right, that's good. But we do have about 2 hours together. We're going to spend about 2 hours together, okay? So I want to create as much value for everyone during these 2 hours. And I want everyone to know a bit about myself, what I stand for, why we're here today, and what our entire platform is about, and hopefully how that platform is able to help you today. How's that sound? Okay, not too bad? All right. So a little bit about me, all right? My name is Franco. I was born, I feel like he looks a little better, and I've aged, have not aged too well. But I was born in Hong Kong, raised here locally, spent most of my childhood in Richmond. I went to Ferris Elementary School, not too far off away from here. Went to Richmond Secondary School, which is right across from Richmond Center. And then 2 years ago, graduated from the Sauder School of Business, which is out at UBC. Very luckily, although I've been raised here my entire life, able to keep the language, keep the roots of our ethnic Chinese background, and very proud of that. As well as having joined numerous programs here in Canada. I was part of the Army Cadet program for 7 years, really owned into my leadership skills, and then I was part of a program called Global Vision, which is a national competition for youth ages 16 to 25, where they pick 30 youths each year, take them to another country for an economic trade mission. So at 16 years old, I was able to go to Colombia and Panama, so that was kind of my beginnings of international travel and really understanding kind of an international and global perspective of everything. All right. During university, I was very heavily involved with community work, a lot of it with political organizations and helping organize ethnic Chinese communities. How do we get our government messages across? How do we make sure that it resonates with them? How do we garner their support? Notably, during the provincial election, not too long ago, I was working for the BC Liberal Party, and I was in charge of their entire provincial campaign for ethnic Chinese communities, so anything with Chinese ad buys, ethnic organizations, how do we make sure that our messaging is resonating with the Chinese community. It went across my desk, and I was able to put some impact or some feedback into that. And that really left a very deep impression of myself. And the reason being is that after, and all politics aside, you start realizing that how little resources that government is putting into different ethnic groups. Especially with the Chinese ethnic community, there was a serious lack of money, serious lack of human resources, and most importantly, a serious lack of understanding of how to ensure that your messaging and what you're doing is resonating with an ethnic community. So that's why I was quite frustrated working over there, because what they're doing, it didn't have the impact that they thought they were having with the ethnic Chinese community. And I started thinking, how about in terms of the private sector? How about in the business world? How about for our Canadian small and medium enterprises who are trying to get their products into the Chinese market? What avenues do they have? What organizations are they working with that are able to help them bridge that cultural gap or that language barrier? So that's kind of got my brain rolling, which is, at that time, I started the World Youth Leadership Foundation, which is the organization that is running the event today. It started out as a local kind of youth leadership and entrepreneurship movement in Vancouver, eventually evolved into being a cross-border platform to help Canadian small and medium enterprises get their products and get their business into the Chinese market overseas. And hopefully that's what we're able to help everyone do here today. Very luckily able to get onto the last December issue for the China Foreign Trade magazine, which is a public government publication just highlighting what we do as an organization, and because we're able to do this because of how uniquely positioned we are. And we're going to share with everyone our model for how we're able to help some Canadian companies or help facilitate products through a youth entrepreneurship platform and the numerous organizations that we work with. But really, it really sums it up. Bridging the world to China is what we do, and hopefully share that with you today. So how does that sound? Good. Good. All right. A little bit more energy. All right. So I've been speaking for 2 years in Canada, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and across China. And I find Vancouver the toughest crowd to crack, because everyone's like very laid back. It's like, traffic. There's traffic coming in and whatnot. It's like, what's everyone here for? It's like, nothing, not here. But that's okay. So we're gonna do a bit of a warm up. All right. Can I get a couple volunteers? Anyone willing to volunteer? All right, come on up. Anyone else? Got one. Yeah, all right, come on up. One more. How about do one more? All right. Let's make sure this isn't all tangled up. Yeah, sit on.
Do I sit here?
Yeah, sit on. Hello. Check 1 2. 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 All right. So how about you introduce yourself a little bit, and then 4 things. How about who you are, what you do, why you're here, and what you're looking for. How about that?
I thought he was going to make me sing.
Oh, everybody, round of applause if she's going to sing.
Jokes aside, so my name is Michelle Kwan, and Michelle Kwan, the figure skater.
Ooh.
I'm just joking. My parents named me that without knowing that it's actually a famous figure skater. And why I'm here?
Yeah.
To make more friends. And then what else?
Why are you here to make more friends? Are you in business, or what are you doing, and what you're looking for?
Right now I'm self-employed. I work in finance, and what I'm looking for is some genuine relationships. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I'm Jason. I'm a published author of the book Living with the Dragon, mental health speaker, and I guess a new podcaster. I've got a new podcast launching. And I'm here today because my friend told me about this event, and I just thought, you know what, I'd just check it out and learn something new and meet some new people.
And where can we find that podcast of yours?
It's on my website, imjustjason.com.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
imjustjason.com.
imjustjason.com. Make sure you guys check that out, all right? Round of applause for Jason. And quick question. Both of you been to China before?
Yeah.
Yes?
I'm going to China this month.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. And what do you usually do in China?
Visit my family.
Visit your family. Okay. Any thoughts of a market over there, or expanding what kind of business are you in?
I work in finance.
You work in finance, all right? Any thoughts of working in finance over there then?
A little bit in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Okay. So Hong Kong and China are definitely 2 different animals. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit today, all right? All right, round of applause for our volunteers, all right? kind of what, all boiled down, that's what doing business is all about, getting to know one another. We were going to do a fun little activity where we get people to run around a little bit, but I think that's a little bit too much for Vancouver Rights on a Saturday. All right? So, one quick thing. So, one thing that we always want to do, right, is to get our mindset straight as to what it takes to do business with the Chinese. And a lot of times people like to just dive in head first, and they suffer a lot of different consequences because it's just a different dynamic over there. And the reason being is because China has been around as a nation for 5,000 years. All right, they have never been colonialized for a long period of time. They have their own language and deeply rooted philosophies and culture. So a lot of times we go in with and I grew up here, a Western mindset of how to do business, which we dive in and then we realize that we're speaking an entirely different language. And I'm not talking about English and Chinese, we're talking about business, right? And a good example is during networking, all right? So usually in the West, how do we network? One-on-one, right? One-on-one, right? You might run to various different events, you might hand them business cards, like, hey, this is what I do, this is what I do. It's like, oh, cool, nice, all right? Let's grab coffee, sure. And then you go to another one, and hopefully, fingers crossed, like one person will like work out, right? And you build a genuine relationship with them. Like, who has that experience before? Tons, right? In China, do you know how they network over there? They drink, they drink, all right? Why do they drink, though?
So they can find out who you really are.
Darko has some stories. We're going to have him to share some of those stories. He's been to China a few times, all right? Exactly, to drink, and a lot of it is building what we always see as relationships, right? Everyone heard this term like, oh, the Chinese are all about relationships, right? Anyone, why is that, and how does that networking, all right? And this is a very good kind of picture that we like to show, all right? So in Western networking, how you do it is point to point, right? You give them a business card and they give you a business card, right? In China, how it works is, sorry, what's your nature? Artur? All right, so I would in a Chinese way of networking, if we're friends and there's trust and there's a relationship built already, Artur, I'm looking for, X product for my customer base, right? And Artur might not have it, right? You might not have it himself, but what would he do in turn? A refer, right? You refer to Alan, and Alan, what does Alan do? If you have it, he gives it to me. If he doesn't, then he refers, right? And all you see, you have this interconnected web of relationships and people based on this idea of trust and friendship and family. So a lot of times, why we want to understand the difference is because sometimes all it takes is one Chinese person in Richmond, all right? And he might be very well connected, and your product can take off, or your service can take off. And that's kind of the idea of relationships. In China, or with the Chinese, is very, very complicated and interweaving, while you have in the West, a very direct kind of networking sort of method. All right, so why China? Why China? So what's the reason any of you guys want to have your business in China? Population, right? Exactly it. Right? China's largest city, you have Guangzhou, is 44 million people. All right? Population of Canada, 38 million-ish. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, right? Exactly, right? So, anyone here that might be from these cities or have family from these cities? I sure do. Yeah, exactly. So Michelle will be a very good person to connect with, because you never know who she might know, right? So that's all it takes, kind of one person in China to understand your product, the right partner, the right entryway, and then this can explode, right? And China moves very, very quickly. And I want to put this into context, because that's something that a lot of people don't really realize. Because, a lot of times in the West, how it works is that, there's China, when relationship is built up, things move like that. In the West, it takes time for it to build up, right? We don't establish trust right away as business partners. We got to feel it out, right? So a lot of times, and the Vancouver Rights go back and they have a very, very slow mindset, and they don't realize how quickly things can really take off. And to put things into perspective, if everyone knows, in 1978, trivia question, China, percentage of the population living the extreme poverty line, below the extreme poverty line. So that's under $2 a day. Just throw out some percentages out there. Anyone know? 85, 70, 90. Yeah, okay, all right. Anyone else? Wild guesses? Okay, so it is about 90% that live below the poverty line. That's about 40 years ago, right? How about US in the 40 years ago? Anyone know? 15, 10, 17, 5, you said? All right. About 10%. A little under 10%, about 7 or 8. I don't know if the stats for you. All right. How about 2017? Today, China. 5%, okay. 25%. So 90% 40 years ago. 2017, we're at about 99% live above the extreme poverty line. All right. So about 1%. 1%. And that's the pace that we talk about in China, whether it's on a macro scale of a government context or down on a micro scale of getting your products across. It can happen very, very quickly. All right. How about the U.S. these days? 12? He's laughing. He's like, how about about 13%.
How do you figure out the poverty line based on what?
Based on what $2, $2 can be buy lots of things in one country, and in North America probably just a cup of coffee. So you cannot just use the dollar value to
yeah.
the poverty level of different countries,
Sure.
right?
Sure. So the standard for the extreme poverty line is set by the United Nations, and it's less than $2 a day for the American in U.S. dollars. So I didn't arbitrarily set it in value.
$2 in Cambodia, it can be like a quick meal already.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, in China especially, well, due to the vast population, you might think, oh, it's like 1%. No, 1% is about like almost 800 million people, right? So that's a huge amount that they're doing. And I mean, that's the definition that the United Nations has set. I believe they might have taken into account kind of the living wages as well as how much it costs to live within that country as well. I believe they have taken that into factor when coming up with these percentages. Okay.
All living is the standard of living is going up, like, by everybody.
By everybody.
Everyone's standard of living went up, like, down in the US.
Yeah, exactly it, right? I just want to show some quick fun little like videos. So in So we skip forward a little bit. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but this is kind of right before the New Year's in China where they had to replace a railway. So they did it with 1,500 workers in 9 hours. So during the night, make sure that we don't bother anyone in the morning, right? 1,500 people, we're just going to go ahead and replace this entire length, about 1.5 kilometers, right? It doesn't seem long, but in Canada, it'll probably take a few years, all right? Alright, so there's that, and then another one that we always like to show is this one, which is a 30 floors construction. So, does anyone here live in Richmond? No. Yeah? Have you seen like all the construction that's been going on? It's like kind of ridiculous how fast that we're building things. And then we're like in China, and it takes like 15 days to build a 30-floor tower. So imagine that if that actually happened in Richmond. Like people are complaining now, but imagine this, right? It would be totally different in like 2 months, right? So that's kind of how it works, right? All right. Has anyone heard of the Cascadia Rail Network? So that's a network that our provincial government has been exploring for quite a while now to connect Vancouver, Seattle, and Portland, right? And make a little high-speed railway network, all right? So Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, studies began in 2008, new studies 2018 to 2025. So we just put in $300,000 of real money to do that. Construction is between 2025 to 2035, so a total of 27 years, all right? That's not without delay. We all know there's a delay. Right? So distance by car is about 508 kilometers, right? So a lot of people, ask me that, because I travel here to China every month, and they ask me if I ever get jet lagged, right? So going to China, I never get jet lagged. Because once you hit the ground, like things are like moving, your brain's going, everyone's like, quick. You come back to Vancouver, it hits me like a rock. Like I'm out for a week. All right? So that's just kind of the pace that we're talking about, right? Just to put things into perspective. right? China's High-Speed Railway Network. Anyone written on that? Yeah, no. It connects your entire country, right? 27,000 kilometers in total. So the previous one, we're talking about 508 kilometers, 3 cities. 27,000 kilometers in total. 2/3 of the world's railway tracks in China, high-speed railway tracks are in China. So Hong Kong Station just opened in 2008, 15 years. That's how long it took, 15 years to build that. We're going to take 27 years to build our 500 kilometers. All right? All right, so east versus west. All right, so I just gave you some context in terms of size and speed. So now we're going to start getting into the mindset. All right, how do we understand how the Chinese function in terms of business and how they work? All right, so I want to show everyone just a very quick video that we're working on these days. So I don't want everyone to just think that we're doing this in a business perspective. From a greater community perspective, we really think in Canada it's important that we learn from each other and that there's a cultural understanding, right? And that's what our organization is about, is to first get a cultural understanding going on first. So we do have a short production that we do. So Mr. Mark Mercer is a very well-known political consultant here in Canada, nationwide. So there's no sound. 1 second. I don't know what that is. See me 1 second here. There's still no sound. Oops, sorry. Oh, that's okay. So what we're looking to do outside of business is that we produce short videos. We have a media company that we produce short videos with quite well-known people in Canada, and what we talk about are some of the cultural differences here in Van. They have a very interesting conversation as to how do we further that, all right? And the reason is, I'm sorry. Everyone hear me just fine? Yeah. All right, so, so we have an entity here called ChinaCNTV.net, which is our international entity because we do have a media license in China, which is not an easy task to achieve, called ChinaCNTV.com. All right, so we're going to get into it. Mindset stuff, right? How do we understand China, all right? So who here doesn't speak Chinese? All right, so repeat after me. Lu. Lu. Now one more time. Lu. Lu. Okay, anyone guess what this means? That doesn't speak Chinese, right? No? All right, so the Chinese is very great. If people say it's hard to learn, but if you recognize some of the characters, it's easy to piece together the meaning, or you can guess. All right. So what you can do, a lot of Chinese characters are split into 2 parts, right? So there's 2 characters here. All right. So the first one, and then this is the second one. All right. So the first one, it means feet, and this one each. Right? Does anyone know what that means? Each foot, one after the other. Each foot, one after the other. All right? So up there means foot. It means path. All right? It means path. So why path? And Chinese language is very deep. There's a lot of philosophy and a lot of Eastern mindset, right? So there's a formula that our organization goes by, right? So right now you have 3 characters. Lu, lu, lu. So 3 paths. All right. So the first path is 思路. All right. So you're thinking. All right. 思 means thinking. All right. The second we talk about 门路. All right. It's the door. All right. The third one is 出路, which is your exit. All right. Can anyone explain what this phrase means then?
Meetings.
All right. So the right thinking plus the right doorway is the right path out. All right. So a lot of times, a lot of organizations, a lot of businesses, where they fail at isn't the fact that they don't have a partner or a distributor out in China, to do what they need for the business. Is that they didn't know how to communicate with them in the first place, right? And they struck deals that weren't beneficial for both sides, or they got into a bit of misunderstanding or mix-up, right? So our organization, what we first want to do is give you the 思路, we want to give you the thinking, right? And then we want to give you the 门路, which is the doorway, all right? And once you have those combined, that's the right path out. That's the right path for your business or what you're hoping to accomplish, all right? So one without the other, you're not going to have as great an impact, right? You're going down the wrong path, all right? Next, so that's what we want to start to think, all right? How do we think? West versus east, all right? So in the West, we have a thing called rule, reason, and relationship, and that's the order things go, right? We're a country of law, rules first, all right? And then, and then we talk about reason, logic, and we talk about relationships. How about China? No rules. No rules. You'd be surprised that there's way more rules in China than there is now out there in the West, right? And right? And total opposite. Relationship first, reason, and then rule. All right? Relationship, reason, and then rule. Right? So that's what you guys have to think about, right? Total opposite. So we can't go in with a mindset or a Western mindset into a Chinese business meeting. It doesn't work that way. All right? Next. All right? So what we have, because we go by rules, all right, it's very rational. This is what I have, this is what you have, and we put something together. Right? Very direct, very rational. Right? So yes means yes, no means no. I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. Right? In the East, because relationships comes first, right? It's complex and indirect. All right? We won't say it to your face. Some yes doesn't mean yes. No doesn't always mean no. All right? And the best analogy, I find this, right? And it's for you to remember, right? The West is like asking a guy where he wants to go for dinner. And then the East is like asking a girl where they want to go for dinner. Like for girls, it's like a very emotional choice. And then when you suggest to them, you want to go to Chipotle's, and they'll be like, no. And then they wanted to go to Chipotle's, right? Like, it's ridiculous. Okay?
What do you mean?
So she's laughing because she's guilty of that. Very, very clearly. Alright? So that's how we like to think about it. The only thing is, in China, it gets better. Once you build up that relationship, once you understand, again, it's very, very quick. Alright? And in the West, even with relationships, it's very simple, very, very direct. Right? That's how we like to think about it. Okay? So we're going to do a demonstration of trust. So everyone, have you ever been to like a big Chinese banquet or dinner, right? What's the biggest thing they do? What's the thing they like to do the most? Well, aside from eating. Let's say there's like a political figure there. What happens? Take selfies, take photos, all right? Can we get it? Can I get another volunteer? Come on, Darko, come on up. All right, everyone, round of applause for Darko. You can help me out, right? Okay. So Chinese people love taking photos during dinners, right? Or especially if you see someone famous, right? So let's say like pretend I'm a famous guy, right? So how would you take a photo if we're just strangers, right? Just approach me for a photo, all right? Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're gonna do that. All right, awesome. I feel like a girl. So how do we do it if we're like best friends? We're like best buddies. How would you take photos if we're like best buddies? Yeah, that would be we'll be like, yeah. Alright? So how do we show like not only we're best buddies, we're like working together, we're like strong business partners, right? Yeah, right, he's pulling me up, it's kinda weird. Alright, round of applause, Jordan guys. Thank you. So the reason I demonstrated that is because a lot of times Chinese people take photos, start to realize like they're like shaking hands or like holding they're holding you and things like that, right? Especially with someone political background or a well-known person, because that photo, what does that demonstrate? Value, trust, relationship, Alright, so I'm just gonna take that photo and you'll be like, me and Darko are like best friends, right? We're working together, we just shook, right? You know, that's the things that they want to demonstrate, right? And that's why like Chinese people, we love taking photos at different events and different galas, right? So thank you, Darko. Thank you. Next, right? We're talking about this idea of lead, alright? And now we're gonna break this down here, right? And this is another way of writing this, alright? So this means rice plant. Now get everyone to guess. And this means knife. So anyone guess the meaning of this? So you have rice plant. Well, you have everyone's favorite word. You know, everyone should be everyone's favorite word. Food, close. Close. It means, think of the olden days, right? So when you're harvesting your plants with your knife and things like that, it means profit. It means profit, all right? So repeat after me. Li. 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 Perfect, all right? It should be your favorite word, guys. Your favorite word, right? Profit. All right, so we're talking same thing, right? This is a formula, right? In China, or the Chinese, there's a couple sources of profit, all right? A couple of sources of profit that we like to put into context and we think about, all right? The first one, think about, is called 专利, right? So it's like only, kind of like intellectual property. You're the only person that's able to do this, then you're able to generate profit, right? The next one that we have is 权力, which is like power. 权 means power, right? So like when you have power, it comes profit, right? Anyone can guess the third one? Third source of profit? Anyone? No. 盈利, fame or name, right? Once you're famous, once you have a name, everyone knows you have a good brand, then you have power, right? So you have profit, right? So, and the order of characters work, right? So you have to have, if you only want to do it to have profit, you gotta have power to have profit, you gotta have fame or name to have profit, right? Which is the easiest source of profit? What do you guys think? Most relaxing, the easiest thing to do. Fame, right? Fame. Once you're able to establish like a brand name, or once you're able to establish a fame for yourself, then people come and find you, right? You don't have to go out and find customers, right? Even if you're the only person to do it, or in China, like you don't really have power, right? So then that's what happens, right? Fame is the best source, right? So why build a brand? Because brands are the largest source of profit, all right? And that's with the fame. Once you have a brand, once you have a name, then you have the largest source of profit, right? So what's the purpose of building a brand? In the West, you're building a brand to build trust with who? Your consumers, right? But the issue is, in China, a lot of times, because of there's issues with counterfeiting, there's issues with, if you're in health foods, or if you're with beauty products, there's issues with safety, right? And it's very difficult to build a brand unless you put a lot of time and money and resources into it with a product, right? And that's something we'll talk about a bit later, is that we never enter the Chinese market with a product or a single SKU, right? And we'll talk about it later. So how do you build a brand if you don't build it with products, right? And that again goes back to the difference in East and West. So in the West, in terms of our system, we have divisions of power. So you have your executive, your legislative, and your judicial, right? And they don't mix. Right, that's how it works. And in China, we have the party, the government, and the military, right? And, you know, all politics aside, this is just the fact that this is how it works, right? So one thing that we like to do as a platform is understand how we build trust at the top levels of society, so with the party or with the government, right? How do we work together with them, or in a capacity such that they are our brand, they are the people that, they don't trust us, but trust the people that we're bringing out to promote for your products or promote for our platform, right? So example of this, we were just in Hainan in January 17th, and we just had a new revealing of our headquarters over there. If anyone goes to Hainan and we're in town, make sure to come visit, all right? And sorry, I'm going to translate this to English. But these are some of the people that came out to support us and to put our program together, right? So Director He, which is the former Deputy Director for the Commerce Bureau. We have the old cadres, former Technology Deputy Minister. So these are the people that are part of the government, part of the party that came to support us. And we're putting together something called the Silver Youth Innovation Entrepreneurship Program. It's very long translated into English. All right, so this is one of the avenues in which we work to get some Canadian products into China. All right, so what it works is that we're working with an organization in China called the Senior Citizen University. They have a small organization, about 10 million members across the country. All right, and what they want to do is because they have a lot of people retiring from government, right? A lot of people retiring from these top organizations in their 60s, maybe early 70s. They still have the capabilities to work, lots of resources in their hands, lots of background, but they just don't have the time and the effort to put into it, right? So what we do is we partner with our platform, we provide them with products, we provide them with youth entrepreneurship and our training and our organization, and we work together to help push products to their members. All right. So this is former Deputy Minister He from the Commerce Bureau speaking about our program and how we can come together and better it. All right.
So what we have here in Hainan is a massive land development by the government for a health resort. And also what we have here, of course, here's the headquarters. Just right now today, right before our meeting with the government officials, and we just made this our own headquarters, right? So this is us, this is our organization right here, the World Youth Leadership Foundation, right next to all these different government projects that we have going on.
So definitely visit us if you're ever in Hainan. Sorry, portrait filming not recommended ever, but there's that, right? So what we want to do when we talk about branding and building trust in China is that instead of putting so much money, effort, and resources into building your own name up and your brand up in China, which a lot of Canadian SMEs don't have the capacity to do because you need a localized team to do that, is that we want to really figure out a way to work with some of these organizations on top, right? So we have different, Dr. Joe is going to speak later, he's going to share his experience with doing that, right? And his reports, all government publications, and a variety of awards and support, right? So when you're doing a product launch or we're doing that, we want to be able to garner that support, and that's where the trust comes from, all right? So that was talking about 思路. Everyone remember what that means? The thinking behind everything, right? So now we're talking about 门路. What does 门路 mean? The doorway, or it's a look, right? And then what is that? So you have the thinking plus the doorway. What's the end goal? What's the answer?
Exit.
The exit in Chinese. Round of applause for everyone. We're getting there, right? Go Vancouver. All right, so where do we begin, all right? So how do we do that? Where do we begin, all right? So there are 3 steps that we make to make the Chinese market made simple, all right? So the first step, we talk about the story, all right? How do you position, not a Western branding story, a Chinese story, all right? You talk about your channels, all right, your partners, and you talk about people, all right? So how many steps are there? There are 3 steps, all right? So we'll go with story first, all right? So one thing that we have to understand as part of the story is kind of the number 1, is the jargon, all right, and things like that. So when you're communicating to some of these people and they're throwing all these terms up there that you have to understand, you have to know, all right? So what industry are you in? So everything is very simple in China, right? Everything's very big, everything's very, very deep, all right? So whatever industry you're in, just take that on. We trust it works, all right? So if you're in health, and you're selling health products, you're in big health industry, all right? 大健康, all right? 大健康, right? If maybe you're in tech, you have the data, right? Big data, right? Everything's big data, all right? You don't have small data, you have big data, all right? And if you're in agriculture, and as long as you have agricultural products, right? You're in big agriculture, all right? And these are the terms that they actually use, not a joke, all right? If you're in retail business, they call it new retail now, all right? Media, new media, and education, new education. So these are some of the things that we're talking about, right? So anyone know what new retail is? What's new retail? What's retail? What's traditional retail?
I think the stores.
Shopping, brick and mortar. What's like technically new retail? Online shopping, right? So what is Chinese new retail, all right? So we're gonna ask Alibaba, my good friend Jack Ma. All right, so this is a term he coined, all right? So we're still on like a minute of it, not less. So essentially it's just a flip, but kind of their understanding of new retail is O to O, right? Online, offline. Essentially what it is. So are you able to go directly from your phone, and what they use is WeChat these days, or Taobao, right? And then click into that and then find a store, and then go experience that product, and then in the store purchase it, have that delivered to your home, so when you get there, it's at your doorstep, right? So that's kind of their new retail concept. Right, so we can't go in there thinking of like normal retail. This is kind of what they're talking about these days out in China. All right. So aside from industry jargon, we also have to understand special development zones. All right. So anyone heard of Foshan before? Or, yeah, one. Tongguan. Anyone heard of Beijing before? Come on, come on, we can do it. All right. So a lot of times we focus on big cities in China, right? We go in there, we think Shanghai, we think maybe Shenzhen, we think Beijing, right? And so we got to get into those big cities, right? The issue with that is that there's a very high cost, right? It's a what we call first-tier city in China. It's a very difficult market to penetrate, right? And it's very, very saturated, right? What they forget is that there's so many other cities out there that have populations of 4.78 million, 8.25 million, 11 million. You know, and what they do in China, they do this really well, is that they throw a dart and then they throw a circle around like a zone in China, and they call it a special development zone. And in there, they throw in new laws, new rules, new taxes, all these different things that you can and cannot do to give them an advantage over other competing cities, right? So the Greater Bay Area, which is what China's talking about every single day now, all right? The Greater Bay Area is their southern district, all right? So what they're doing is they're drawing a circle all around these cities in the southern district, right? And they're trying to create their own competition to a Silicon Valley or something like that. Or like their GDP right now, of all these districts, is almost equivalent to like Tokyo, right? And they throw in new laws, new tax rules, all these different things to help these cities become their own economic zone, right? So we gotta understand, when you are entering the market in China, you don't have to go to Beijing, you don't have to go to Shanghai. Right? You can go to all these different cities with a massive population, and if you sell like one product to one person in one of these cities, you'd be a very wealthy man or woman. All right? So that's something we have to understand. All right? Second is avoiding product competition, and then we said that previously before. All right? So a lot of times you're stuck with, my product's so much better because of XXX characteristics, right? In China, unfortunately, it's a huge market, but it also means that there's a lot of noise, lots of competition, and there's lots of cost and risk. So differentiating your product out in China is very, very difficult, and you run into a risk, right? So we had two friends, and I shared two cases. So we hear about like Taobao and e-commerce all the time, right? Taobao is the equivalent of Amazon, if some of you don't know, right? So we have one friend that thought that all you have to do is throw your products onto Taobao, and it will sell. Right? Is that the case? Can you throw a product on Amazon and it'll sell? Not the case, right? So Taobao, much like Amazon, they do all your FOB, they do all your warehousing, they do everything. They even do your customer service. So if you don't speak Chinese, you don't have a team out there, you can pay them and they'll do your customer service for you, right? So that's actually a very high upfront cost to do all of that, right? So what happened, my friend, they sell healthy snacks, all right? So what they did was that they went onto another platform called Tmall, which is more expensive than Taobao, right? And they did all that. They did FOB, customer service, all of that. Shipped all the products to a warehouse out there in China, and just sat there, right? And just sat there. And what their thought process was, because it's such a great, big market, if we just capture that 1%, that little bit of it, we can make our money back, right? But it just sat there, okay? Another case was another company that they did clothing, right? Expensive clothing. Put it onto Taobao. It sold really quickly, it went really fast, and then what happened like a month afterwards? A lot of fake counterfeit products happened, right? Because they didn't have a localized team there to take care of all the other back-end stuff that they thought that they could just gloss over by selling products, right? So in Taobao, approximately 10 million merchants. There isn't an exact stat because Taobao doesn't release it, but there was a merchant survey for about 14,000 of them. About 10% make money. Right? And those are people in China working 24/7 trying to make money off of this, right? So we don't necessarily recommend just throwing your products onto an e-commerce platform and hoping it works, or even worse, burning a bunch of cash, hiring all those people to work for your product when you're not doing any marketing or sales yourselves in China, right? And the risk, of course, of an IP threat, all right? So that's kind of the second thing, right? We don't compete on a product level. No products. And the third thing that we have to understand is knowing the policies, and that kind of go back to the special economic development zones, right? So it is a state-influenced economy, right? So you can actually understand a lot of trends in China just by following kind of what the government releases in their press releases and their reports, right? And that's something that we share with our members, some news updates and things like that as to where the country is heading, because where the country is heading is where your business is heading, and that's just how it goes over there, right? So in China, another focus on innovation, cooperation, green, openness, and sharing. So sharing is a very, very big concept in China right now, right? And a lot of it has to do with, anyone heard of this, One Belt One Road? Can anyone explain what that is? Chris, yeah, Chris.
Well, it's the new Silk Road about economic cooperation of about 20 or 30 countries,
right?
From China to Eastern and Western Europe.
Right.
And I think it's based on a train system to start
Okay.
with and highway.
Right. So, very good. Round of applause for Chris. All right, so kind of One Belt One Road initiative, right? It's an investment infrastructure plan. The new Silk Road, what it is that they're investing in a bunch of bridges, railways, paths to connect the world to China, right? So that China can be the new center for trade and development, right? So what they do is they invest in all these countries and build their whole infrastructure in hopes that they will reciprocate with trade, right? So one thing to coin it, it's called the 命运共同体, which means that our destinies are interlocked and interconnected together, right? And that's what they're about. So they're actually very open to external companies to come over to China with their products, with their business, and to work together for a win-win situation, right? And that's what we're really looking to do with our events in Vancouver, is to bring along people, companies, people that are looking to create win-win benefit situations for Chinese people over there. And the government is actually very, very welcoming to that, right? So, connecting 60 countries, and what else? Over 21 trillion in GDP, all right? Okay, so we want to talk about how we do it then. Like, what's the story that we tell out in China, right? As a case study for everyone, right? So you understand how we operate. So we position ourselves as an international leadership and entrepreneurship development platform, right? So we develop a new generation of leaders with cultural awareness and international perspective to help the world to understand China, and we're trying to head towards the world. And the reason why we take this position, and the reason why this is our mission statement and what we do, is that opens the door for us to work with a variety of local government bodies, a variety of schools, a variety of different organizations and businesses to utilize our method of youth entrepreneurship to help young people get started in business, right? So we have a couple of winning factors here, right? You have young people that are looking to start business, or people that are already in business looking to expand sales, right? We have businesses like Canadian companies are looking to sell, right, and they're able to go through this avenue. And then you have government organizations who are trying to solve the issue of unemployment and solve the issue of people that aren't able to start their own businesses, right? So we create a multiple multitude of ways solutions through a position like this. And because we take that position, we're able to open a lot of doors, such as having a headquarters in Hainan, we have a headquarters in Beijing, all government affiliated, right? And having our plaque there. And that really means a lot to our organizations and to our partners, because when you do come and work together with us on our platform, that's where we elevate everyone to. All right? So we talk about developing the next generation. So we do this all across China, a variety of different seminars and talks. Not all young people, a lot of them are senior business people. All right, and then in Vancouver, we do cross-border investment and multicultural events to bring us all closer together, right? And that's very important to us, multiculturalism. All right, so that's the first one, so the story. All right, second, we talk about our channels. All right, so when you get your story straight, you don't compete on a product level. You build a trusted brand with government over there. All right, channels. So speed and scale is essential. All right, and why do we say that? Because we want to increase trust and minimize risk. All right, so a lot of times, a lot of companies, they go in, they might do because of just the capacity that they have, they might do a small product launch, right? It's a good thing if the product is really successful. It might sell really fast, right? But there is also a high risk, right, in terms of counterfeiting and in terms of IP theft, right? And when you do a small little show right there, your impact is only so much, and there's not as much trust built. Right? So what we like to do is we do large replicable events, right? So if we're going to do a product launch, we want to do it across China in rapid succession, so we're able to capitalize on that. And people like seeing large events out of China. If you're able to pull people out to your product launch, and it's a big thing, then they would appreciate you more and they'll trust your brand more, right? And again, developing niche markets, right? So not focusing on one city, focusing on multiple cities, and in rapid fire motion, go across, right? So we've done that. So this is our travel map just for 2017-2018. So China's very big, but we've traveled to almost 15 cities during that year in time, all right? So not just in the big cities, right? Third tier, fourth tier coming up, right? And we want to work with strong established partners. So we never want to do it alone in China, right? You want to leverage off the resources that people already have. We don't want to do one product launch, we want to go multiple cities and rapid fire roadshow and to build trust and to minimize risk. And the third thing is people. And that's the most, I think this is the most important part of what we do, right? So again, we never sell a product, we sell a business opportunity, right? A business opportunity in China. And the reason why we do that is there's still a very strong hunt for opportunities. So this is called I'm not sure if people see it, but the Maslow hierarchy of needs, right? So once you have your physiological needs taken care of, then you talk about safety, then love, you talk about self-belonging, actualization. Understand that China, they did a rapid development in 40 years, right? So a lot of them are very still much in this level of physiological need, right? There's still a mindset of scarcity there, right? So everyone's looking for opportunity. Everyone wants to make money, get a better living, right? In Vancouver, everyone's like retired, right? You want to find a partner, it's like, yeah, meet me next week, right? That's not going to happen, right? In China, it's like, it's quick, right? That's why you're able to have large events. That's why you're able to get a lot of people up because they're looking. They're looking for a next big thing that they can leverage with their relationships, right? We're going back to that. Because they know that in their minds, they have a vast network behind them and they're able to get Alan's product to their networks over there. You can make him very wealthy, right? So everyone's on the hunt, everyone's on the search. outside. Summertime China on a beach. Yeah. Yes. I've never been, I don't want to be, alright? If you're interested, I'll organize this tour for you, it'll be fun. It's like in the very beginning, why China? Massive population. Right? Massive population. If you find one person right, you find one right partner, you're able to leverage their networks and their resources, your product can sell very, very quickly. Let it be one city or two cities. You know, if you're able to leverage all these people, not as your consumers, but as your sales, or people that are marketing and pushing your products for you, then you're in for a ride, right? It happens very, very quickly. So we never sell a product in China, we always sell a business opportunity, we're always leveraging people, all right? So, we're just going to show you one example of what we do from a product level, right? So I know some people aren't in a product level, maybe you're looking for networks or manufacturers or something like that in China, all right? I'm just to show you from a product level what we do. The other things that we can talk about, because we had 15 years in China, 30 years in Asia, we have a lot of resources, a lot of networks, all right? From a product level, what we do is that we're a premier OTO platform for accelerated market expansion and the volume development of sales affiliates. All right, so what does that mean? Okay, so for example, here's a product. Does anyone have a product? No? Yeah? All right. My understanding, someone has a health product here. So maybe you have a health product that you want to sell. So we would partner with source of product overseas here in Canada. What we do, we work with a government or a partner organization, such as we talked about before, the Seniors University over there, 10 million members. We'll partner with them. We'll turn your product into a competition or a roadshow, right? And we'll work with these organizations to go around town, right? What we do is that's a marketing and promotion means, but that's also a funnel to develop that into sales affiliates for our platform, right? So what we do is that instead of taking your products and just sell it over there, we go to a bunch of roadshows with partner organizations, right? They feed us people, we turn them into sales affiliates, they go push their products for you, and we're all in big cities, right? So that's kind of what we do. And then we close the deal, right? And that's from a very simple product level, right? So why are we here today? Why are we here today, and how can we hopefully help everyone? All right. So we like to say we're all in it together. We're starting in Vancouver. This is our second seminar. We're still trying to find partner organizations, some members to join in that are very interested in maybe overseas in China or maybe expanding here locally with Chinese demographics. Right? And what we provide is both the cultural understanding and the doorway. All right? So both the thinking and the doorway for your exit path. All right? And frankly, I don't see a lot of organizations providing that. They might provide you with a referral, but to really hold your hand and guide you in terms of the mindset as well as the channels, I don't see a lot of organizations doing that. All right? So the right thinking plus the right doorway equals the right path. Right? And we're hoping to provide that for you. All right? So as through Bridge to China, we have 3 steps. So we have the incubation process. All right, so what happens is that you join in as a business member, all right, or if you're under the age of 25, anyone under the age of 25? Well, he's like, yeah, right, you can be a youth member, and youth members get a lot. And I welcome if any of you know anyone between the ages of 16 and 25. I think this is very valuable. There's a lot of mentorship that we do with you over here. So you join as a business member, and then we have acceleration. Right? So we have workshops. We average 1 or 2 every month in Vancouver, all right, at least 1. All right, workshops we talk about things like WeChat, we can talk about market entry, cash flow, things like that, how to enter China. Most importantly, we get your business profile, right? That's the biggest thing, because we're looking for opportunity as well, right? So we understand who you are, what you're looking for, and when we travel to China every month, then we know if we meet the right person, that we know who to connect on to, right? Because we meet a lot of different people. Right? Get access to our China network. If you're ever going to China, we're organizing a trip, I believe in September. All right? So we're organizing a trip to China. We're trying to bring people back. Right? It's very tough to go back yourself. Right? It's a lot easier if you're someone there that speaks the language, knows the culture, and knows the have the business network. Right? Very tough to go back yourself. So when we have trips, we invite people to come back with us, and then we also have a partnership application. So what is the partnership application? So what's partnership? So what it is a custom China market entry plan for expansive networks. So if you join as a business member, we have your business profile. We'll send you another form, a partnership application. So what that is, you fill it out, you talk in depth about your product or your service. You might provide us with some material, some PowerPoints and things like that. If we believe that we can add value to your product and we're able to help you sell or do well, then we'll talk about partnership. All right, and we'll talk about how do we use your product and create a custom plan for you. If you hand it in and we think that we can't do anything about it, right? If it's not in our realm of interest or we just don't have the networks for it, then we're unable to partner, right? So we only partner on a mutual beneficial capacity. All right. So in terms of an international partnership, that is our ultimate goal. Is we talk about your custom 4 Ps that are suited for China. We talk about creating easy cash flow in business, right? So we're not about charging you a high upfront cost and then just tossing you in the China market, right? We want to make sure that the moment you enter, you're generating cash, you're generating revenue, all right? Your custom business model, we talk about application of WeChat, we talk about application of a variety of different technologies that the Chinese use over there that we can help you get into. And we talk about things like, we have also an exclusive e-commerce platform that we have as well. Unfortunately, we're not going to share that in 2 hours today, but you get access to that as well if your product, your company is suited to use that, right? So everything's custom for you, right? And we talk about that as to what works, what doesn't work, right? We come to an agreement. So right now, I would like to welcome Dr. Joe Ng. So Dr. Joe has been in China for the past 13 years, in business in Asia, greater realm for the past 30. Strong background with product entry or working with companies. He was a Canadian entity going to China. He had to learn Mandarin going into China. All right, so let's welcome Dr. Joe to share with us his experience.
Okay, I speak English. I hope you can understand my English because most of my time in China. So at that time I go to China, I cannot speak Mandarin. For 13 years right now I can speak fluent Mandarin, but I forgot my language also. Yeah, because every day it's meeting and meeting so many people, because the population there. Every time we do a talk or seminar, at least 200. Most times 500 to 800 people in the seminar. So how we do business in China, we are not go to lock the door or one to talk. We all connect. I will show you how I do business in China and what the secret to success fast and how you can make a good business in China. Why we like China? Why? Not go to other country. First, because I'm Chinese, That's why. Because another market is India. India is all large population. But right now we focus on China because the population there and have so much demand, Because when you're doing business, you need a huge market. If not, you're doing because you spend the same energy and the cost and effort. But if you focus on a small business, small market, so it's not worth, especially the young people. Because I would encourage young people, they are young and retired. You know what I mean? You want retired, so you need to make money, because you need to become wealthy. But the only one market, what I find is China. Because I'm born in Hong Kong. At that time, Hong Kong is not belong to China until 1997. So I never go to China before to do business. But I went there sometime, but I haven't do business there. immigrated to Canada, and I retired in 1996. Moved to Canada because the kids' education. So I stayed in Canada until 2006. Some people told me 2005 at that time. People encouraged me to go back to China because they inspired me that that's true because huge market there. So when you do for 5-10 years and then you build a great business there, you will become very good as source of income. You know, can make a lot of money there. So that's why I teach a lot of people, encourage a lot of people. Say, if you have a good product, a good idea, and you should go to China because you just spend not much time there, and because there's so huge market. And the people in China, everybody is now looking for business opportunity. So if you have idea, have good product or investment, it should go to China to promote it. But the cost in the past, if you don't have the,
You don't have the doorway.
Yeah, if you don't have doorway, you have a high risk and a lot of money. And because sometimes they say yes, that means yes. You know what I mean? So you spend so much time, a lot of people, they go there to do business, not successful and exhausted because they don't know their mentality. And it's difficult to build a relationship with them. So that's why for 13 years now, today, this year is 13 years, I do very well in China because I know how to do the business there. You know, because like in Hong Kong, my business is always working with the government, consulting the government. So even I went to China, the first thing I will get into the government body and work with them, so that especially Chinese, they believe in government, not believe people. So that's why you need to have a background with the government, and then you do business. And also they give you a lot of, we call, first, they have give you the resources. Second, they can only do poor dinner.
They lay out the red carpet for you.
So it will be more easier. Okay?
这个 echo 我 support 嘅。好，你知嘅之後。保教我。保教我。
Oh, okay. I forgot to say it. But okay, the last one is they can So
the first one, why we work with government, right? They give you a bunch of resources, right? They give you the red carpet, right? Same thing kind of like when we went to Hainan, right? Everything taken care of, right?
And so you save a lot of cost.
Right? I save a lot of cost, right? And then the third one is they protect you, right? In a very broad sense, right? Because a lot of things can go wrong in China as much as things can go right, right? So knowing the right people over there is protection. Yeah.
It's because the rule is not too clear in China.
Yeah.
The law is so
so you know how long it takes for us to pass a law in Canada, right? You know, argue back and forth. China's like, tomorrow's going to change, right? So, you know, when you're in that gray area and you're functioning in that gray area, a lot of times you need first-hand information as well as people that can help you update you on different things in order to ensure you're not walking on thin ice, right? Because you never know. You never know. Yeah. Pay for my protection, yeah.
No, never. If you put money to the government, that's very dangerous. Very dangerous because it's like corruption. In the past, a lot of people in China, they go to China, especially Chinese business people, they go to jail. Do you know that? But so many people go to jail because they're doing not the right thing. They use the power to make money. Okay? But it's good. It's easy. But we don't go there using the power to do business. We would like to do using our professional business. Okay, and then also we have a professional ethics. Why we have a responsibility to educate Chinese people. So that if you don't go wrong, it's good. Okay? Of course, you know how to communicate with them, how to talk with them. They are not because of the money. Sometimes they don't want the money nowadays because they already have a lot of money. So, but they lack of idea. They lack of idea. They lack of the good traits or good products, or like the food here. They like most because safe. Okay, so when you have a good product, and I will show you the business model. You know, if you know this business model, I think you'll be rich very fast. I can show you the mathematics. Here. So it's math. Okay, when you do knowing how to do calculation, to build the network, the channel in China for your products or for your business, that will be going very fast. Okay, so how we doing the business? So because in China, we go to because huge market and also it's good profit. Like for you put $10,000 US dollar into the investment, you will put 10 times, 1,000 times, even sometimes a million times if you knowing how to do business. So that's why because that market is huge. And I will today is not much time. FENCO want to organize another seminar on 23rd. I will give you more details about how we do business there, what model we use, how do we calculate it. Because I graduated from University of Manitoba, major in actual math. Actual math. You know actual math? Actually. It's hard at that time. So we know how to minimize the cost, minimize the investment, and make huge profit, and also minimize the risk. Okay, doing business is risk. If you do large, huge business, but for us it's easy. I will show you. And also because the profit is you can make so much. So it's good to put time on it, but don't put so much money in it. You don't need it, because when you have resources, when you have the protection, you work with the level at the government, so at everything you save cost. Like last year or before that, we go to Changchun.
Changchun. I don't know how you would.
At that time, we visited there. The government wanted us to stay there.
Yeah, well, so we visited Changchun, which is within the province of Jilin, and we brought a bunch of investors from Hong Kong, Canada, over there to survey and to talk business. And then they were taking us not just to the Changchun's the main city, right? So they have smaller cities, right? So they heard that there was an international investment group that was coming, right? So like everyone's calling our organizer, who was government affiliated, it's like, they gotta come to my city. No, they gotta come to my city. So we ended up doing like a road show, right, through all these different cities throughout the day. It's like hop on the bus, go to the city, meet this mayor, go to the next one, and then the one that's like the furthest away heard from us the latest, like they gotta come now. So I think we got to that city at like 3 or 4 a.m. So they took us to a very nice hotel, right? And then they were very attentive. So Chinese people were very attentive. So because they knew that we were there at 3 a.m. and we didn't plan to go, we walked in. They had brought us brand new sets of pajamas, underwear, socks, hygienic products and whatnot, just laid on the bed. And the next morning we had breakfast with the mayor. And then we talked about business, we talked about trade and things like that. And then, yeah, they eat a lot of weird stuff out there, right? So just forewarned, if you ever come along, then have an open mind as to what you eat. But then exactly kind of what the story was, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like business for 一個民營企業，係咪？
it's not like a normal business. It's not like a business for a normal private enterprise, right? A company that would just enter China by themselves, right?
Yeah, if you're a private company, if you don't know you spend so much cost. I have a friends, they put so much money in and so many expenses, and also pay under table money and so many. But in fact, they fail at the end. Fail at the end because they're not doing proper business. So that's why it's very important for they also get so much investor and they lose money in China. But in fact, if you know throughout the organization why you build World View Leadership Foundation, why? Because so many young people and the policy in China, the government policy, you need to read the policy of the government so that you know how to build your business. Right now, the China for over 30 years in Asia for me, I'm doing e-business. You know what is the e-business? You know what e-business is? That's very important idea. For 30 years, I doing very well. I think it's very successful, save a lot of cost, and also have a lot of fun. So for e-business, this E, isn't it? So usually for e-commerce, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, for e-business, e-commerce for general. But first, I use first E is my business. I do many business, different areas. We use education, like seminar, teach people. Okay, so through education, when you're doing education business, a lot of government, even in Hong Kong, Asia, even in Canada, if you're in, you can reach a lot of government people, isn't it? Because government would like to educate people. So first you know is education. Secondly is right now is very important. It's very hard. I heard a lot of entrepreneurs, they are work very hard and 好辛苦啊。
It's very painful. Yeah.
Painful.
A lot of entrepreneurs work very, very hard. You know, it's very, very painful.
Because they focus on the money.
Because they focus on the money.
Yeah, every day calculation money. But in fact, when doing business right now, even in North America, we use entertainment. You know, entertainment? When you're doing business, it's like entertainment, like have a lot of fun, you know, happy. Because when you're doing seminar, you meet so many friends. We are not selling, we educate. And then you know, we have a common thinking, you know, the driving to zero, thinking first. Because we know, you know how to think at the same way, so it's easier to communicate. Very easy. So when I go to China, the government, I educate them. So they change, you know, mindset. They change the mind, and they know, oh, okay, that's good. They help people. You know, if you say go to seminar, how you make money, how you can make so much money, they don't like it. Because right now, especially in China, they have everything. You know what I mean? They have money, they have building. So when we go to different cities, even no rent.
Yeah. So if you go to Jilin, they have a city up there, and what they built was these massive, what they call incubators, right? Incubators. So we think of like co-sharing incubators here in the West, which is like an office space. No, it's like a mini city. They have a mini city built over there, right? And if you decide to go to that city to be an entrepreneur, no rent for a year, they pay for your food, they pay for your accountants and financials and things like that, just for you to start your business over there. Yeah.
So entertainment. And entertainment will today we expect there's over 40 or 50 registered.
Yeah.
There's a team coming. So that in fact we already have a lot of fun games to understand how to build business in China. It's a game, so have a lot of fun. But because today we might try at the end, and we will try because I think that might have enough fun people. Because in China, every group is at least 50, 10 groups. So when you go to China, you see, I can show you a lot of pictures. There's so many people. So for education, entertainment, that you will get so many business. Because for education and entertainment, to build trust is more fast. So you have to know that for the entertainment, because doing business you need money, isn't it? Yeah, or you want to make money. So you need a lot of fun, and then you have fun. Isn't it? So when you have happy, that's what the Chinese. As I remember, first time I go to invest, the first project China CNTV, the first investor invited me to Shandong. Zhai Zhong is a president of Drive. It's very rich, fun.
He's a venture capitalist. Yeah, one of our partners.
He at the first when I go to China, they set up so much food table, no cost. We don't need to pay. You know, if you know how to do business in China, you don't need to pay. They pay for you. That's important. Remember, don't trust anybody said you go there, you pay so much money in, and no. They should pay you because if you have the idea and have the background and everything, and everything set up, they invite you. They eager. And I tell you, the truth is, the Chinese, they eager to looking for business. Okay? And also they can put out all the resources for you. All resources. Especially the young people go there. You know, they put out an old people senior university. There are 10 million members. Okay, for old people. The old people, they have so many resources and even money and everything. So, but they need the young people to work together. So they set up a headquarters in Hainan. Right now, Hainan will be set up in the free trade zone, like Hong Kong in China. So it's better put your company headquarters over there. Okay? No cost. We can help you to 挂牌
Well, we can help you put a plaque on a couple buildings out there.
Okay, they also have an office space to their web page.
Yeah, they give us a 2-level office space on it.
Yeah. And you just bring in I will build a showcase there to show the Canadian products.
Yeah, so we're really, this is our second seminar in Vancouver, but we're really looking for partners, and then we're going to do some displays out there in Hainan for all our member products and services and whatnot.
Yeah, and also we would like to why we would like not go to Chinese. Right now we want to build multicultural and invite different people go there to have a talk. Because Chinese, besides making money, I tell you, they are most friendly people. You know, when you understand Chinese, everybody would like to friend and everything. You know,
like me and Darko, we're like best friends now. Yeah.
So that's why when you know how to using different techniques for education or training and make it like an entertainment, and together have a lot of fun. And like as I remember last time, 12 years ago, when I start a business in China, I have nothing, but I just go there, but I know I know how to package myself. If you have good knowledge, good background, they just invite you because they want to learn a lot, you know. Because when our Chinese want to learn, they pay high cost, education fee. You know, a lot of entrepreneurs, they pay a lot of money to learn. To learn what? How to earn. They learn, so that's why we know how to do teaching there, to teach business. Teach business. Teach language. It's huge market there. Yeah, so that's why when we talk about the brand GoBiz, huge market. Even right now we just write a proposal, they want to learn especially English. Yeah, because the largest language group there. So that's the way. I give you the example why that you can make so much money. I have a friend many years ago. Is one of my students. You heard 7-Eleven? Okay, and he got a very good product.
TX. So eggs soaked in like Chinese tea. So he had a very good product, very good TX.
Oh, he sell TX to 7-Eleven. You know how much money he made at that time? So at that time it's only 10 stores, 10,000 stores. Because it's no franchise in Hong Kong. So he put it, so each store sold about 5 eggs on average in store. A day. 5 a day. So how many eggs he sold to 7-Eleven? Per day, isn't it? So how he only charge $1, Hong Kong dollar at the time. So how much he make a day? 50,000. How much a year? That's huge money, you know. So that's why you do a good product, and you know how to build the whole network in China, and you put the product in, they sell, and you know there's about 3,300 cities. If you have each city, you have a distributor there. Do you think your product is good selling? Yeah. So that's why if you want to build business in China, don't go to this model. B2C. You know B2C? Business to customer. Direct, you know. B2C. A lot of go find customer. No. We try you do to B2B. Find people there to franchise or authorize from you. They do business for you. But you like 20-80. You make 20%, they make 80%. But there are 3,000 cities to making 20% for you. That's huge money, you know. As I remember, I have a phone 3 years ago. Just 2 days, I sold $20 million. The 20,000 pieces. Phone. Put our logo in it. The phone. We OEM a phone. You know. That is like crazy. But now with new model. How we use the model? Because we are e-business, entertainment, education. So it's better B2B to C. What does it mean? We help distributors in China, they build the customer base. So they can sell the product we educate them how to do the marketing. You know, the marketing is more important. Even if you want to do business, first thing you need to learn marketing and sales. Okay, to do business in China. So we have 4P. Okay, 4P. I will later show you. So if you want the business get cash flow in, because the Chinese, they not like North America or West, usually credit, isn't it? Give them credit. But most business in Chinese, they are cash based. So you get the money upfront. Is it better? Yeah, usually. So you get the money upfront and then you get them back. Okay? So it's the enemy low, very low risk. So that's why we already built also the payment gateway for China. You know the Pioneer. So we have a WeChat Pay, Alipay, and also a lot of payment already built on the online. So if you fool our system, you put the product and also you use the B2B to C, okay? But right now it's more new because in China everything new. So new model is, do you know new model is? Right now I help the young people, they build business. Young people how to build business, we use the S to B to C model. Okay. S is you are supplier, okay? Because you don't have product, but you can source different product, isn't it? So what is right now is the 粉絲經濟.
Influencer, follower economy.
Yeah, right now is, so you go to small leader group, or we call KOL.
Key opinion leaders or influencers.
Or use Chinese social media, okay? And then they have their customer. So when you have so many B, and so you can have so many customers, they sell for you, okay? Through internet. So you save a lot of costs, and you just handling the logistics, the shipment, and everything. Also, you can put your product ship to our headquarters in Hainan or a different city. Okay? Then this is the new model in China. It's new, very model. When you Google search, it's S to B to C. So you build a lot of small B. They might not have not 10,000 fans. But if you 10 is 10,000, 100,000, so you can build it like this. And also we can work together to build together. So that's why we doing business quite different from traditional Chinese, and we always put it into our brand outside. Okay? Why? We have so many magazines to show us because when you learn there's专利.
Everyone 专利.
So remember 专利?
Sources of profit, the first one only. Yeah.
权利.
Power.
And also 名利.
Fame.
So when you build your image, when it helps you to build your image, and then you sell your product. So for your branding, there are 3 branding: your personal branding, your product branding, and your corporate branding. You need to package it. Okay? So that we will have a seminar or workshop. We work together. How to package your product, service, or personal image in China. And then you have all packages, and then you sell to C or B. Because B need your background and all marketing material from you. You supply to the B, and then they do the business. You understand what I mean? And also we include the training for them in China. So that if they have big money, you can give them the etiquette or invite them to come over there. If they make $1 million each year, you invite them come here. Is it sound good? It's okay? Do they happy? Yeah, they are very happy to come over overseas because not many people coming out. Okay, so for this we have so many strategies, marketing strategy to do business because not. So that's why the power for business success. 3 things: focus. Right now we only focus on China market. Okay, but the product is from international. You know, if you have good product from Africa, from everywhere, okay, we can network together, go to China. We can only focus on China market. Second, we have a thinking. How we think? The knowledge is ours. We give you the knowledge. Okay, you have the knowledge, so you know the Chinese market, how they think, and how to talk with them, and what business model to them. And also, sometimes if you a good business, you get upfront money for joining your business? Can it be?
If you're a really good business, but someone paid you for your business opportunity or your product to have access. Do you think it's good? Yeah. Yeah, why not? even $1,000 US, $1,000 US, but 10,000 pay you, you know. So it's easy number. So not an imagination. It's true. So when you have a knowledge packaging, so I urge a lot of business people before you start marketing in China, put money on the marketing packaging. Right now we have a new box, Yanhao Laibao, you explain it. So we sell 1 million box for the product. We just package it up. Yeah. So one of the things that we're doing, we're working with the CNU's University, and then their 10 million members. We have a gift box, a gift package. And before we worked with the partner, what they did was that they have a Canadian gift box and they threw a lot of Canadian products into it and they sold it, things like flour, honey, things like that, right? So we're creating our own entrepreneurship gift box through one of our networks, which is CNU's University, and we're going to package that with a lot of our partners' goods from Canada, and we're going to sell to them. And it's the same model, right? We develop a bunch of bees for seeds, right? And like he says, 10 million people, you capture a portion of that. That's a lot of products that can go. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't need too high cost in China. Everything is set up here. Okay. And last thing, you need experience. We can experience is very important because when doing business, if you steal business in there, it's hard because you don't have reference. You don't have the story. But we have many success stories. There's so many projects we have done. So we have a very successful experience. But another experience failure, but we will tell you the most important. Be careful. Don't spend so much money and don't believe I can help you so many. We can show you we can help. How we work together. That's important. Past history is more important. It's like a reference, like we call resume. What have you done? Because when you're looking for a job, people looking for your past, what you have done, what you have success. So the experience is very important, especially we talk with the government. The government won't believe in you. Right now, so many people are pushing down. But we can show you so many picture reference, what institution we work with together. So that's why it's very, very important for experience. And also, make sure you can make your product become an educational product. What does it mean? As a member of the project, there's a product is technology. We create a training program you need to finish the training and get the certification, and then you can sell the product. You know what I mean? So that you certify your people to qualify to the product. So they need to pay the education fee before can sell the product. So that's the one model there. So in the partnership program, we will show you the 4P: the product, the price, the place. We call channel. How many channels? How you can build the channel very fast at the shortest time, and how to promote your product, how to promote it. For seminar, conference, a lot of things in China. So first, you can the first strategy, you get your first dietocao.
First protocol.
Yeah, first. Okay. Second, you design your multiple income streams. Okay, I will talk. Okay, create multiple streams, different model. Like you have the education model, you have entertainment model, different model, so that your product become a charity product or whatever. So you create different multiple streams for income. And there's a formula, create how to create a wealth formula in China. So your product, your business, create a wealth formula. Because this formula, because not you become wealthy, because you can help so many people, you remember B? So you create a formula to help them become rich. Will you become rich? Yeah, you will make. Because they make money, you make money. Yeah. So that's the idea: to train, to educate, and packages your product or service for them to make money. Okay, and then they go on to sell. So you save a lot of time and leverage your time. Okay, and also we use how to use the WeChat, social media. WeChat right now, how many users?
Over a billion. Well over a billion.
7 over billion. Yeah, almost over a billion users. WeChat, and also how to set up the program there with small cost, and also set up the payment gateway direct to your bank. That's okay? Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah, very important. So, and they pay, go to your bank. Okay, that's the word. Another model, right now we talk about B2B2C. That's Big B right now. Big B is the work with the government, work with the association in China. Another is S2B2C. And also we in March, mid of March, I think we will have the system. We form a public company. Want to go public? We call Global Business Technologies. Global Business Technology is we create a program for e-commerce system using link up with the WeChat and also payment gateway, and also create S2B by computer so you can check your account every day. So this is the system so that you can sell your B using this model in China. So that you have the tools, you have the knowledge, and also we will tell you the strategy and everything. So you care. Because if you don't care, you have so much worry and no energy. Because doing business, especially doing business in China, you need a lot of influence. Okay? Influence people. Because if you sell it, it's hard. Because when you sell, a lot of people sell. Actually, if you sell, you will go to very hard, very exhausting. Okay? Don't sell. Okay? Don't sell. If you sell, it will very hard. So you will create you will influence people, and especially we have our own media. Right now we invite professionals to.
Well, we had our own media. Unfortunately, wasn't able to show the video a little earlier. But because of our work in the past, we're filming a bunch of videos with government over here. Our next guest is Defense Minister Harjit Sajjan to talk about community integration of working with the Chinese people. So that's on a broader upper level scale. That's what we're doing, and that's going to be with our media license in China. Be also be used to disseminate and to promote, and then also, of course, from a business standpoint, using that entity to promote our partners' businesses as well.
Yeah, so we will help you to tape it, make it more professional and with the Chinese thinking, so that you can through internet you can promote to the China, especially you do WeChat, 10 million, 1 billion people on the system. So that's the very important things. That's all. I share my experience up to now. If you have any, do you have any not clear or any question you want to ask about that? So remember, there's business model you need to know, okay? And how to, the formula is like 7-Eleven. You have product, you have the whole channel level, and you put the product in, even you make $1 in China. That's to make the whole difference. And you might spend whole life in here to work. But in fact, in China, if you're doing right thing and lower the risk, and also you work with the government, good thing, and they invite you. Because if you have the program that every year, if you just spend $99, fly to China, $99. I think US maybe $99. They will invite you about a week to visit in China. They have a government program, something like that. But this the Trump law, West people, they don't like it because they think that's government influencing. But in fact, if you don't have the government support, it's hard because so many people in the system, if letting go is like a lot of right now Middle East and everything, if no power to lead the country, that's dangerous. So China, they would like to more stable business environment so that they are very strong on this. So as long as we build a good business and helping people there, especially right now, this is strong.
This is entrepreneurship?
Yeah. If you are educated, you have good product, educate, go back to teach them how to sell the product, and they have create job, create a business for them. They are most welcome. Okay? Okay. Now it's time
Alright, so we're just about wrapped up here. Thank you. Another round of applause for Dr. Joe again for speaking to us. So kind of like we go back every month or so, right? And they're seriously looking for opportunity, and they always ask like, what do you have in Canada? What do you have in Canada? What do you have in Canada? Which is why in the past 2 years we spent a lot of time over in China, but this year our focus is at least trying to get half our time back here in Canada and really look for those partners, look for those members who are interested in a large market over there, who's interested in doing business over there, and us hopefully becoming that right partner for you, and you becoming that right product for us, or that right service for us, and then we'll make $1 in each TX, and we'll split it 50-50, and I think we'll do pretty well, all right? I'm just kidding. I just want to go over some of the membership stuff, all right? So, you know, it's our second seminar in Vancouver, so we have 3 different memberships, right? So, business memberships is what we're going to talk about first. So we're going to have a membership WeChat group. So a lot of times if you're dealing with any questions in terms of Chinese education, culture, clashes, things like that, or you just want a soundboard to talk about anything China, then we'll have a membership WeChat group. We'll send forward different articles in English and in Chinese, and we'll explain those articles obviously about new government policy, things that are coming out so that you're kept up to date to what we believe is important in terms of for your business. We have workshops and networking training, so we average about at the very least once a month, if not twice a month, in terms of our workshops and trainings. You come to all that for free. Then we have China trip access, so we're planning another trip in terms of a broader scale, not just us, in about September. So we're hopefully able to get some members, understand what your needs are, and then organize that for you guys properly. And then you have the partnership application, right? So whether or not you're considering the partnership, you think it'll add value to you or not, or you just want another soundboard, we're going to send that file to those that circle the partnership option. All right, we'll send this file electronically, fill it out, send us some information about your business, we'll evaluate it. If we believe we can partner on that, then we'll reach out and then we'll talk about a more in-depth custom market plan for you for China. If you're youth under 25, I know Wally is over there. We're looking to grow our youth team. We're going to provide a lot of mentorship. You know, it's good to start young and to understand it because the next 20 years the market is still in China, right? So you want to understand both the thought processes and get your network started today and not 10 years later when the market's gone, right? So youth program and then our partnership program, which is all your custom plans and in-depth partnerships of how to really make your business work in China, right? So this is what we're charging in Hong Kong, right? So, but in Vancouver, because we're just starting out, we're really trying to build our networks and our relationships. We're going to start off for $380 a year, $100 a year for a youth. And for today, just letting you guys know for our upcoming events. All right, so if you're a business member, you join us today, you start building your networks, and most importantly, 思路 first, right? You gotta get your thinking right, then we'll provide the 门路,然后 you have 出路, right? So we'll get your knowledge and your network started, all right? Apply for your partnership, all right? And then our members workshop for we talk about WeChat, so application of WeChat, so that's very, very important. So does anyone know mini apps for WeChat? Does anyone know what that is? So imagine having an Amazon in your WeChat that's custom for your business, or anything like a consultancy agent in WeChat. So anyone that has access or has WeChat downloaded on their phone, they can access your app without downloading it. All right, and then what happens is that they can then pay within your own mini app. All right, and that money goes directly to your bank account. So a lot of people have trouble doing this, and you can ask around if they're able to do WeChat here in Alipay, where the money is going to a Canadian bank account and not to a Chinese bank account. A lot of people have trouble doing that. We have a partner that's able to do that. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about that and how maybe that can apply for your business. And then Dr. Joe is going to share a little bit about creating a China cash flow business. So when you have a product in there, we don't want you to just burn $100,000 doing localized marketing, right? Once you get it, we want you to start generating the revenue, all right? And again, because we're just starting out, we want more people to know about us. Bring your friends, bring your family, all right? And when you're doing a business, a lot of times we're not alone. You have a spouse, you have a partner you want to bring along. So we are doing $380 for two, all right? So if you sign up today, if your partner or your spouse is not here today, and they want to sign up, fill a membership form, you pay today, then they can come sign up later. And then for our WeChat workshop, you can also bring guests as well. If you have a big team, then they can come along for free. And yeah, that's it for today. We're going to wrap up, and hopefully you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you very much. So if anyone is interested or you have any questions, I think Tegan's going to handle some of the membership applications and payments in the back. If you have questions about anything, just come to me or come to Dr. Joe, and we'll be happy to explain to you. Please let your friend know. On a societal level, I think we should all be friends and family and start building a relationship. Thank you. I think it's very interesting. There's a lot of companies before that have approached us and was like, do you know anyone else that can really understand what we mean? And we just have to so that's what I would love to share.
That you pay for?
No, well, a couple things. The easiest thing for us is product level, right? So that's quick. We can do that really fast if it's the right thing. The second for us is just really getting more members and the word out. I think that's one thing. And then the product is also one channel. You know, I think that guy over there who does construction, he does construction just looking for manufacturers to do that for LEDs out in China. Right? So we have
You know what?
right?
Oh,
Right.
okay. I just started to reform.
Yeah, we open doors and government, right? And you're not going, because a lot of